on the battery chemistry side is something that we have been doing research on for more than 15 years now. And the particular recipe for the EQS is something that we have developed with one of our supply partners, and it has very, very good energy density. But if you look at the car, this one bow shape, as our chief designer, Gordon Bogana, calls it, why is it like that? It's form follows function. It has the lowest drag coefficient of any series production car with 0.20. So this smooth shape helps, and many little details lead to great efficiency, and then also gives you good range.
And still keeps the design language pretty clearly Mercedes. Let's get back to the chip shortage if we could. You say you're going to prioritize vehicles like this, and I assume the internal combustion S-Class as well. But how hard is it hitting you in terms of production lost in 2021?
Well, we had disruptions in the first quarter. We will continue to have some disruptions in Q2. We're now talking about what the recovery scenario could look like with our suppliers. In some cases, it's not 100% clear yet what the supply availability will be. So we're hoping that we will be able to make up for much of that loss in the second half of the year, but it's still kind of day-to-day management.
How important is it to keep your suppliers close to your production? I know a couple days ago there was a story about your crosstown competition in Zuffenhausen working with a battery producer in Stuttgart, for example. Are you trying to source technology, chips, battery cells close to where you put the cars together?
The auto industry is a huge network of supply relationships and technology relationships around the world. Our guiding principle is to go for the best. Where's the best technology, the best innovation? Where can we find also cost structures that meet our targets? So that worldwide network per se, that is not something that's going to disappear, nor do we want it to disappear. But as we scale some technologies, you mentioned, for instance, battery, we're going to need so many gigawatt hours on the way to 2030. So we're going to, for some of the components, as has been the case in the past as well, build up production in the most important and biggest regions where we have manufacturing.
Can you put a dollar figure on what kind of investment you're plowing into this new electric push?
Many, many billions. The 5-year plan that Daimler signed off on just before Christmas has an R&D and CapEx budget of over 70 billion. And needless to say, the lion's share of that is going into new technology.
Can I ask about prices as well? I saw a story on the Bloomberg a couple days ago about China reducing aluminum production, and I'm guessing a car like the one behind you is full of a ton of aluminum and carbon fiber in order to save weight. What do you see in terms of input prices?
With regard to commodities across the board, it goes up and down. In some cases, you also hedge, and in some cases, you fluctuate with the market. But in general, commodity markets in the long run tend to be efficient. So if you get into a situation where there's a crunch, higher demand, prices go up, and then new capacity comes online. So you can't plan a product life cycle of vehicles that maybe are in the market for 7 or more years just on a snapshot of what's going on right now. You got to manage that over the cycle.